Imagine walking into your media room or, even just your living room. Multiple screens, maybe different things playing. Or maybe just that coffee table covered in like a dozen remotes. It's chaos.
Yeah.
Now picture just tapping your tablet and sending any show to any screen effortlessly. That leap from total frustration to just smooth control. That's what we're diving into today. We've all been there, haven't we? That dreaded remote control jungle, trying to figure out which button does what, which remote controls which box. It's a common modern headache, really.
Oh, absolutely. And today we're trying to cut through some of that digital clutter. We're exploring a very specific and I think quite clever solution designed to simplify that exact experience. We're taking a really detailed look at the WolfPad DirecTV Stream tablet TV control system. This deep dive is for you, our listener. Our mission is to pull out the most important bits about what it does, how it actually works under the hood, and maybe why it could be a genuine game changer for your home viewing. And crucially, without getting lost in super technical jargon.
Okay, so let's unpack this then. We've got this picture of seamless control. Sounds great. But what's the fundamental frustration this system is really trying to solve? Is it just about making things a bit easier? Or is it tackling something deeper that, normal setups just can't handle well?
Yeah, it's definitely more than just simple convenience. The core problem, the real pain point it addresses, is that fragmented control. Especially if you've got multiple DirecTV stream receivers, multiple TVs, maybe in different rooms. Think about it. Each box has its own remote. Each TV has its own input selection. It gets messy fast. The WolfPad DirecTV Stream Tablet TV Control System, they also call it WolfPad Mini, sometimes it's basically an integrated package. It's an app, a graphical interface, and some hardware designed specifically to let you easily control and route those DirecTV Stream HDMI signals to, well, any TV you have in your house. The main benefit, and they state this pretty clearly, is to eliminate the frustration of changing DirecTV Stream channels with their remote controls and do it on your tablet. It just pulls all that scattered control into one place. Now, there's a crucial detail here, important to set expectations right off the bat. This system, it's explicitly for personal home use only. It's designed for your home setup, your family room, maybe a dedicated home theater, or as the source material kind of cheekily puts it, your man cave. The point is, it cannot be installed anywhere else. So strictly for individual homeowners looking to streamline their own viewing, definitely not for, say, a sports bar or a business.
Right, so it puts you back in command. Moving from that remote control chaos we talked about to something like tablet tap tranquility, it sounds like a pretty significant upgrade for anyone wrestling with, more than one or two TVs and sources. But before we get too deep into the how, what does our listener actually need to bring to the party? What are the pieces they're responsible for supplying to make this WolfPad system actually function?
That's a really good question to clarify early on. Because WolfPad provides the smarts, the control layer, but you, the listener, you do need to supply some key components to make it all work together. Specifically, you'll need your DirecTV stream receivers, the sources themselves. You also need an HDMI matrix switch, something like the WolfPack HDMI matrix switch they mentioned. Think of that as the central traffic cop for all your video signals. And of course, you need your own tablet, iPad, Android, Fire, whatever you prefer. WolfPad essentially provides the brains and the interface to orchestrate all these pieces you already have or need to get.
Okay, that makes sense. So let's get into the mechanics then. How does this magic actually happen on a technical level? What can it handle in terms of connecting devices? And maybe more importantly, what's it like to actually use day to day? Because, a clever solution is only great if it's actually easy to interact with.
What's really quite fascinating here is how scalable it is, but also how they've focused on an intuitive design. The system offers what they call any in to any out capability. That's a pretty powerful concept for multi-room video. What it means in practice is it can intelligently route video from up to get this 16 DirecTV stream receivers.
16, wow.
Yeah, 16 sources. And it can send those signals to as many as 36 different TVs in pretty much any combination you want.
36 screens, okay.
Imagine the possibilities, right? A large house, maybe that dream sports setup in the basement, or even just a living room with a couple of screens for different angles. Huge flexibility there. And for the control hub, the tablet itself, you've got a lot of choice. Like I said, iPad, Fire TV tablet, Samsung, other Androids. It's pretty open. The app itself is, it's quite ingenious in a way. It actually simulates their remote controls, meaning the DirecTV stream remotes, by sending out standard IR infrared signals to your receivers.
Okay. So it's using the same tech as the original remote, just centralized.
Exactly. It leverages that existing, reliable infrared technology, but consolidates all that button pushing onto a much cleaner, Dutch-based interface on your tablet. Using it is described as straightforward, as all functions are handled on the single screen. So picture this. You look at your tablet. First, you tap a source, say DirecTV Box 1. That button turns gray, and the name DirecTV Box 1 pops up clearly at the top. Then you just tap the TV buttons you want, maybe living room TV and kitchen TV on the right side of the screen. Those buttons also turn gray, showing they're now connected to DirecTV Box 1.
Simple enough.
And here's a neat touch, something that shows real thought went into the user experience. There's an undo function. If you accidentally tap, say, the bedroom TV button. Right. Just tap that gray bedroom TV button again, and boom, it instantly flips back to whatever source it was showing just before. It's a small thing, but super useful for those everyday little mistakes. Plus, the buttons on the left side of the tablet screen. They function exactly like the buttons on your original DirecTV Stream remote. So, volume, channel up, down, guide. You're not learning a whole new command set for the basics.
An undo button. That's brilliant. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've accidentally switched inputs or sent the wrong thing somewhere. It really is those small, thoughtful details that make a difference, isn't it? But, okay, a great app needs solid hardware behind it. So let's pull back the curtain a bit more. What are the actual physical bits, the brains and brawn powering this whole system behind the scenes?
Right. Absolutely. The hardware package is quite specific. It includes a mix of their own proprietary stuff and some existing proven hardware. You get one proprietary control code, that's the special software brain, basically, designed to talk to an HDMI matrix switch. And like we said, you need to provide that matrix switch yourself. The WolfPad one is what they often pair with. WolfPad then gives you a 6-foot male-to-male RS-232 cable to connect their controller to that matrix switch.
RS-232. Okay, that's a pretty standard, reliable connection for control systems, right?
Exactly. It's robust, very common in professional AV for sending precise commands reliably. Ensures your tablet tap actually translates instantly and accurately, even with lots of devices. Then, of course, you get the proprietary tablet app we just talked about. Now, here's the really interesting part, maybe even a bit revolutionary for a consumer product. The system includes one modified pre-owned Crestron rack mount controller with its power adapter.
Pre-earned. Crestron, that's
Exactly.
unexpected. Crestron's like high-end custom install stuff usually.
Precisely. It leverages these legacy Crestron products. Crestron, for anyone unfamiliar, is a huge name in sophisticated automation, known for building incredibly durable, almost bulletproof enterprise-grade systems. These specific units are described as American-built and made to last. It's a big deal. You also get up to 16 IR cables, those little emitters that stick on your DirecTV boxes, and a cloud-based customizer tool to help configure your specific setup. And one practical note. The control hardware itself, the Crestron unit mainly, needs 3 U's of height in a standard AV rack. So you need about 5¼ inches of vertical space somewhere to house the main controller.
Okay, so it's a powerful backend. It's leveraging existing, robust, you could even say high-end, proven technology. That seems like a really smart way to ensure reliability and maybe keep costs down compared to developing everything brand new. Still very much bring your own screen for the tablet, which is flexible, but the core, the heart of the system is built on these really durable components. That's a distinct approach. So we've got this picture of seamless control. We understand the clever engineering, the mix of new software and proven hardware. But okay, beyond the tech specs, what are the real, tangible, day-to-day benefits? What makes this WolfPad system really stand out from all the other smart home or automation options out there? Why would our listener pick this?
That's a critical question, isn't it? Especially with so many options floating around. I think a key differentiator, maybe the biggest one for a lot of people, is that no programming knowledge is required to set up your system. They emphasize the interface is intuitive and simple. Think about traditional high-end automation. It often requires specialized installers, custom coding. It gets expensive and complex fast. WolfPad seems to completely sidestep that.
Yeah, that's usually a huge barrier.
Right. It makes this kind of sophisticated multi-TV control accessible to pretty much anyone who's comfortable using a tablet. It's designed for a single purpose, to control your complete system, all on a tablet of your choice. It really feels like it's democratizing something that used to be very niche and very costly. And that ties into the other significant aspect, cost effectiveness, and maybe even a bit of sustainability through using that modified pre-owned Crestron control. And they back it with a 5-year warranty.
5 years on pre-owned hardware, that's pretty confident.
It really is. And it's a genuine game changer, I think. It's not just about saving money. It's about cleverly avoiding that common tech trap, expensive, and maybe not built to last. By using enterprise-grade, made-to-last Crestron gear, WolfPad offers this unique value. Professional-level reliability, stuff usually reserved for big, custom jobs, but making it affordable for a home user. They do mention these pre-owned units may have minor cosmetic defects, scratches, or whatever, but they assure buyers it in no way affect the operation. And this approach allows for a dramatic lowering of costs compared to competing systems that cost as high as $10,000. That's a massive difference. And then there's the ongoing cost, or rather the lack of it, a huge plus. No monthly or yearly fees, and no license or subscription fees.
That's huge. Everything's a subscription these days.
Isn't it just? So buy it once, use it. That's very appealing.
Ah.
And to make the buying process smooth, they offer this no-hassle purchase promise, free shipping, 60-day returns, a free return label, and no restocking fee. That definitely builds confidence.
Okay, that is a lot of no-fuss benefits. I think that genuinely resonates with people who are just tired of hidden fees, complicated returns, subscription fatigue. It feels refreshingly simple in a complex market. But I did see some Q&A in our source material that brought up an interesting point about actual usage. What if you have, a busy house, multiple people, maybe they all have their own iPads or tablets, and they all want to control the TV system at the same time? How does that work?
Ah, yes, the multi-user scenario.
Yeah.
Connecting that to the bigger picture of user experience, especially in a family or shared household. The Q&A does highlight a really critical nuance. While it says any number of iPads can be put on the system, meaning you can have the app installed on multiple devices, it is fundamentally designed as a single-user system in terms of active control.
Single user.
Meaning, if one person is actively using their iPad to change channels, route signals, adjust volume, whatever, they can interfere with another user trying to use an iPad at the same time. So, while lots of tablets can connect and see the status, only one person should really be making changes at any given moment to avoid conflicts or confusion, like two people trying to tune the same receiver to different channels simultaneously.
Okay, so a bit of household coordination might be needed.
Exactly. But the system does offer a helpful visual cue. It allows you to see on the remote iPad what the first user is doing, so you know not to use the iPad until they are done. So if you pick up your tablet, you can see if someone else is already actively controlling things. It's a crucial detail for managing expectations, maybe establishing a bit of remote control etiquette in the house.
That's really important info for anyone considering this for a busy home. Good to know how that works. What about the initial setup then? Is it like a networking nightmare? Do you have to ship your expensive tablet off somewhere?
Good news on the network front. They state clearly, no dedicated Wi-Fi network is needed to connect to the Crestron CP2E processor. Your existing home Wi-Fi, even your guest network, is apparently fine. That definitely simplifies things, no need for complex IT setup.
That's a relief.
Yeah. Now, for programming, for smaller systems, ones that fit on a single page on the app, the control program is actually stored right there in the Crestron controller box. It just transfers over when you install the app. Pretty straightforward. However, for large multi-page systems, maybe if you're using close to that 16 source, 36 TD limit, they say it will require us to remotely load the iPad via our customizer, which will be included with the system. So a bit more involved for complex setups, but handled remotely. As for the iPads or tablets themselves, you do have a couple of options. The default seems to be that you need to send them in to the company for the initial setup.
Ah, okay. Send them in.
Unless you purchase the controller directly from their web page, then they offer a remote setup option for your tablet. So you have a choice: ship it for setup or buy direct and have them configure it remotely. Depends on your comfort level, I suppose. Either way, for the setup process, they will need some specific info from you. Input label numbers, like living room box, game console, and the exact IR component model numbers for your DirecTV receivers. So a little bit of homework is needed to gather that info.
Right. They need to know what they're controlling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It sounds like they have a clear process, whether it's done in their shop or remotely, but you need to provide the details of your specific gear. And finally, on scalability, they make it simple. Need to add a TV? Just call us. So it seems designed to grow with you.
Okay, so maybe a little bit of prep needed, potentially sending your tablet away for a bit unless you opt for the remote setup route. But it sounds like they've definitely thought through the process to make it as smooth as they can. It's not quite plug and play maybe, but certainly seems miles away from needing custom programming skills. So putting it all together, What does this really mean for you, our listener, who might be looking to seriously upgrade your home entertainment control? And just as importantly, who is the company behind this? Because, trust is a big factor when you're investing in a system like this.
Well, I think this system's a really clear example of a specialized solution popping up to tackle those really common, really annoying household tech frustrations. It clearly caters to that desire for simple, centralized control, but without the usual high complexity or, crucially, those recurring costs you often see with high-end home automation. It's about empowerment, really, giving you that control back through smart design and, well, smart sourcing of components. The company behind it is HDTV Supply, Inc., and they're not new to the game at all. The sources indicate they've been certified since 3/10/02/2003 and have 24 years in business as of 2025. It's a long time in the tech world.
Wow, yeah, over 2 decades.
Right. They describe themselves as a 24-year global home for audio and video products. They're also an HDBaseT.org approved adopter, HDBaseT being that standard for sending high-def video and control over long distances via network cable. So they're engaged with industry standards. And they're rated an exceptional top-quality store by Google Shopping. That kind of long track record, the certifications, the positive ratings, it definitely provides a significant level of confidence in both the product and the support you might expect. It's also worth mentioning this DirecTV stream controller isn't their only WolfPad product. They have related solutions for other systems too, the ASH network, standard cable boxes, even just controlling TV power on-off across multiple screens. These various configurations seem to range in price, roughly from $1,250 up to maybe $2,500. So the system we focused on today is part of a larger family of solutions from a pretty well-established company that clearly understands home AV integration.
That kind of longevity adopting industry standards like HDBaseT, having that solid reputation, really is reassuring, isn't it? Especially in the tech space, which can sometimes feel like a bit of a wild west with startups appearing and disappearing. Knowing it's from a company with a proven history, yeah, that speaks volumes.
Okay, so from that tangled mess of remote controls to this unified, pretty intuitive tablet experience, this deep dive into the WolfPad DirecTV Stream tablet TV control system has really laid out a fascinating and seemingly very practical approach to managing home entertainment. It's clear that simplifying things for the user while using some really robust tech was absolutely top of mind for them.
Absolutely. We've seen how it aims to bring that sort of professional-grade simplicity to what can be really complex multi-TV setups in a home. How it offers potentially significant cost savings by quite cleverly using that pre-owned but durable hardware. And of course, that promise of a hassle-free, fee-free experience once you've bought it. It really does offer a kind of shortcut to getting informed about solving a very specific and often quite frustrating aspect of modern home tech. And it's a testament, I think, to how practical problems can be solved with some innovative thinking and maybe some unconventional sourcing.
Couldn't agree more. And for you, our listener, maybe here's a final thought to sort of chew on. In a world that seems constantly pushing us towards subscriptions, towards planned obsolescence, towards ever more complex ecosystems, how much value do you place on a solution that's more buy once, control everything? One built on durable, professional-grade parts designed specifically for your home setup. What's your personal threshold, for simplicity versus complexity, for longevity versus the latest shiny new thing, especially when it comes to the tech that you live with every day in your living room?
And maybe consider how this specific approach, leveraging refurbished, known to be robust components like that Crestron controller, how that challenges our typical consumer expectations. We often assume newest is best, right? Especially with smart home gear. This invites us to think a bit differently about what real value means, what long-term utility looks like in consumer tech, and whether cutting edge always has to mean buying the very latest, often maybe less sustainable gadget off the production line. It's an interesting angle on value and longevity.